It's our Monday morning tradition here on Good Morning Vail, welcoming Vail Mountain Rescue and Dan Smith into the studio. And we are in a transition season right now. As we saw in that weather forecast, more rain is forecasted to be coming up. And we're going to start transitioning into some snowy season and fall. And that's why it's really important to remember a few tips that Dan's going to share with us today when you are venturing out into the backcountry. But first, how are you doing today, Dan?
Doing okay.
Yeah.
We had a good week. We had 3 missions.
Okay.
One hiker, well, 2 hikers, 1 hunter, and a law enforcement support. We have a lot of gear that the sheriff and the deputies don't normally have for going in and around the backcountry, and if they have a law enforcement issue, we transport.
Okay.
We have a rule that if there's anything unpleasant, I want a large solid object between our ATVs and wherever the incident's going on.
Yeah.
So we'll drop you on our side of the hill, you can walk over. Then that works out very well.
Okay.
They understand that. No, every day is a transition day. You're talking about transition time period of the year, but every day is transition day.
Yeah.
You can start out with bright sun at 7 o'clock in the morning. You can have rain by 3, and it can be a drenching rain for 5 minutes.
Yep.
And you can have snow by 3. I've been out on trails in late July and got snowed on.
Yeah.
Got whited out, and foolishly didn't have any gloves with me.
Oh, no.
So I wound up putting on my spare socks as gloves. Because I always have spare socks.
You got to improvise.
Well, yeah, and wet socks are just bad. You pull them off, wearing your boots. So our hikers were quite interesting. It was 2 young ladies from the Middle East, very nice people who'd gone up to hike Shrine Ridge.
Okay.
And didn't understand that when it's dark, it's dark.
Yes.
And they had gone up the ridge and gone down, gone south. And they misestimated the time it took to get to where they went. They turned around too late, and it was way dark 30 when they're halfway back. And you can't move in the dark without a headlamp because there's no moon.
That's tough.
And there's a little bit overcast, and enough that they also got rained on. They didn't have any rain gear, so they're in shorts and T-shirts and tennies, and it's cold, it's wet, and it's dark.
Yeah.
We sent 2 teams out because there are 2 ways to get to where they were, and they were on one of them. So we walked them back out. It's nice folks. Made a small mistake, but 5 degrees more temperature going down, they could have been real in the hurt.
Yeah.
Or if they had not decided to finally listen to us, they kept moving as long as there's anything like light. They finally sat down. Because if you have no headlamp, you don't want to move at night.
No.
You want to sit.
Yeah.
Even if you have a headlamp, I've stepped funny with a headlamp on. It just the whole thing looks different.
Well, it illuminates in front of you,
Yeah.
but not necessarily right
Or
below
down you,
where
and not in
day.
front of you. And if you got 2 people, you put one down, one out, you'll see things.
Yeah.
As usual with our guests, they were terribly worried about bears and cougars. And we tried to point out that first, you don't look like a deer. There are plenty of deer running around now. Mr. Cougar is 99 chances out of 100 going to eat something else. Of course, if you're the 100th, that doesn't help you much.
It's no good. Yeah.
It's a no bueno. And then the bears have no interest in you at all.
They're more afraid than anything. Like, they'll get curious at some noises, but if you clap at them, they're going to run.
And the only thing is the sow and cubs. If you get in that little mix, it's going to get unpleasant.
Yeah.
So people are very, very worried about the wildlife. They're not worried about where they put their feet.
Yeah, which is the big danger.
Where you put your feet wrong is going to hurt you worse.
Yeah.
We had our first hunter. I believe they were scouting.
Well, let's get into that story when we come back. We got to go to Ashley with a weather report right now, but I'm excited to hear a little bit more about this stuff, Dan.
Coffee's good. I'll be around.
Thanks for sticking around, my friends. All right, coming up next, we've got Ashley with a weather report, and then we'll be right back with Dan Smith here in the studio.